Okay guys, hey, this is Persephone and this is another video of the Hermit Tarot. So I am going to do a fun video today. A lot of you I see have been requesting, just top 10 or top 5 like personality traits when you're dating a certain sign, and I feel like this is slowly becoming a Scorpio channel. I personally have dealt with a lot of Scorpios as well romantically, so who else better than me to tell you what it is when you're dating a Scorpio. A Scorpio can be it can be one of the most sensual and intense moments of your relationship or relationships at all, but it can also be very hurtful and disappointing. I'm going to specifically talk about dating a Scorpio man. I will make another video dating a Scorpio woman, only because personality traits between a Scorpio man and a Scorpio woman is very different. Very, very, very different. So if you like these kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, share the video, and go ahead and leave me a comment. Quick heads up, I am still going and doing the contest. You can go ahead and win a free personal reading with me. All you have to do is subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know that you're interested in the contest. I will pick one winner for the month of July, and you will get a free personal reading. I will directly reach out to you. So, if you've been dating a Scorpio man, you will definitely notice that in the beginning, he tends to be very mysterious. I'm gonna go ahead and break down personality traits, and I'm also going to do a free general reading right now, only because for those people who did click on the video, I'm sure that you are questioning your status and your relationship with this Scorpio man. And trust me when I tell you, Scorpio men, for some reason, have such an intense air of mystery on them that it's so difficult to push away, but it's also very difficult to not want to be around them all the time. So I'll tell you this. First thing about a Scorpio man, be okay with some mystery in your relationship. What do I mean by that? Scorpio men love their privacy. Scorpio men love to know everything about you, but you cannot know anything about them. And it's not that they're secretive. Scorpio men tend to be distrustful of people. What do I mean by that? Scorpio men do not and will not and is not the type of zodiac sign that is like, oh, let's just go with the flow. You will never hear a Scorpio man say that. And if you have heard a Scorpio man say that, he truly is not a Scorpio man. He must have a different Venus sign. Another thing that I do want to tell you is that when Scorpios are interested in you, Scorpio men, they tend to get very jealous. Now, that doesn't mean that they're vocal on their jealousy. What happens is that if a Scorpio man is watching you, and I do want to clarify this, whether the Scorpio man that you're dating is straight, bisexual, gay, it doesn't matter. Scorpio men tend to have the same tendencies. When they even find out that you're even giggling, entertaining, even shooting the shit with someone, Oh, they don't like that. And they definitely note that. Scorpio men have very jealous tendencies, but the difference between a Scorpio man and a Pisces man, Pisces men tend to be more emotional, they will outwardly show their emotion. They will tell you, I feel uncomfortable. Scorpio men do not do that. Remember what I said about the first thing about Scorpio. Scorpio men are very mysterious. And Scorpio men do not wear their emotions on their sleeve. They're territorial. So if something is theirs, they will make their presence known, but they will never verbally say, oh, that made me jealous. Or they'll never throw like a temper tantrum versus a Pisces man. A Pisces man tends to be a little bit more sensitive and emotional, and they definitely tend to throw temper tantrums, and they victimize themselves. But anyway, let's talk about this reading that I'm getting. If you're dealing with a Scorpio man, you definitely feel like the relationship has been a pull and pull. What do I mean by that? It means that either one of you are kind of acting like, I don't see what the problem is. I'm being passive aggressive. I don't know why you're upset. I don't know why you feel like I'm not there for you, but I'm definitely there for you. But unfortunately, the actions do not match up with the words that are being said. And I know that a couple of you have threatened to walk away from your relationship with this Scorpio man, but let me tell you something. Even though you walk away from the Scorpio man, he knows that you'll come back. And it's not because he's egotistical, even though I will say that a lot of Scorpio men tend to be a little narcissistic. But it's because Scorpio men tend to be good looking. They do. It's something about them that tends to be very masculine. They have a very masculine air about them, but without being machista. I don't know how to say that in English, but it's just the machismo is not there. And if they do, it's so rare to find a Scorpio who is a bragger. They're narcissistic, but they'll never brag about their conquest. It's just the fact of knowing that they've had you. It's enough for them. They're not gossipy. Scorpio men are not gossipy, and that's going to be my third point here. Remember what I said, that Scorpio men, their actions never tend to match their verbal cues. What do I mean by that? They never have verbal cues. So this particular Scorpio man that you've had has been very clear about not walking away from you, not trying to use you, not trying to manipulate you. He's told you that he doesn't have anyone else that he's talking to, and if he has been talking to someone, it's not serious. Like this person that you're dealing with, he's not serious with anyone. He definitely has his eyes set on you. But don't get me wrong, this Scorpio particular man always has options. And that's the fourth thing that I want you to know about Scorpio men. Scorpio men always have options. Always have options. If you look here at the 7 of Wands, you see how all these wands are going straight at him? And I don't know if I have any men looking at this video right now, But if you're a Scorpio man who likes other Scorpio men, or if you're a man who likes a Scorpio man, let me tell you something. This particular Scorpio has had so much dick thrown at him. He's had so many options thrown at him. And if you're a woman watching this video, please keep in mind that your specific Scorpio man is so good looking that he even has men throwing themselves at him, but he's always turned it down. Remember, look, I have the Two of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and I have the Page of Wands reversed. What does that mean? The Scorpio man that you're dealing with has fought off all these options. He has cut these options off. But don't get me wrong. Remember what I said about Scorpio men being narcissistic. He definitely loves the attention. But this particular Scorpio man that you're dealing with, he says what he means. It's just that, unfortunately, what you want is like a declaration of love. You want him to be more sensitive, more verbal, more extravagant, more almost like extra. But unfortunately, this Scorpio and all Scorpio men, they are not that. They will definitely show you that they love you and they care for you and that you belong to them, but with very subtle and subliminal moves. You see how this Five of Swords, the guy is looking back? It's because this Scorpio knows that every time you have cut him off or you have threatened to leave, he's like, shorty, I know you're gonna come back. I know you're gonna come back. And it's not because he's a bad guy. It's just because he knows that what you have, you're not going to find that with another man. The intensity, the sensuality, the sexual chemistry that you guys have, you cannot find that with another man. And that's the fifth thing that I want to specify and really emphasize with Scorpio men. I want to show you the Scorpio card. I have done it before on this channel, but I think it's really important for me to show you what this card looks like. Okay. Do you guys see what this card looks like? I'm not going to be vulgar, but do you see the intensity? Do you see the shape? Do you see what this Scorpio card looks? He's looking at his own rod. He's looking at his own body, his own magic wand. Scorpio men know that they are fantastic lovers, and their intimacy, their sensuality matches no Zodiac. And don't get me wrong when I tell you that Scorpios are sensual and sexual. It's not because they will use you only for sex. It's just that the Scorpio sign in general, and this is for men and women, Scorpios tend to really get to know someone intimately. Intimacy and sensuality is a very, very big thing for Scorpios across the board. And it's not because they do not know how to communicate. It's just that that is their main way of communicating. Because how else would you get to know someone without actually being inside them? And going back to the first thing I mentioned, when Scorpios are very mysterious, but they're at the same time trying to get all the information on you, it's because they want to know, how does your mind work? How does your heart work? I want to know every little thing about you, even the bad things. And Scorpios thrive on this. They love to know not only your personality traits that might be positive, but they love to know the negative things. Why? Because Scorpios, unlike Virgos, they're not as judgmental. If anything, they get a thrill of hearing your negative traits because that makes you more human. That makes you more trustworthy because they feel like if they know how bad you can get, if they know the worst situation you've ever been in or the worst thing you've ever done, that means that they can make a logical decision, a emotional decision to be with someone because now you have proven yourself to be trustworthy, transparent, and vulnerable. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a card out, and this is going to be the sensuality or the sexual chemistry between you and Scorpios. Now, remember what I said, that Scorpios tend to be very intense, they thrive on intimacy, they thrive on getting to know someone, sensuality. And again, sometimes if you go out with a Scorpio, sometimes you'll find yourself very heavily attracted to them. And it's not because they're necessarily pulling out all the stops. Like a Leo will be very extravagant, right? A Leo will go ahead and make dinner reservations. They'll go out and fly you to Paris. They'll go out and, buy you the most expensive thing. Scorpios are a little bit more intense. Like Scorpios will go out and eat your brains, They'll go and give you a mind orgasm. They'll go ahead and make you feel so protected and that no one would ever be able to hurt you, and no one would be able to even meet or match their intensity. Now, in this love deck, you have the Nine of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Temperance. Let me explain to you what that means. So, let me explain to you what these cards mean. Let's start off with the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups talks about intimacy, vulnerability. Remember what I talked about dealing with the Scorpio man. He loves to make you feel vulnerable, and he loves to make you feel that you can go ahead and be transparent and vulnerable and disclose all of your information. And that even includes your freaky side. What kind of position do you like? Do you like dirty talk? Do you like kissing? Do you like being spanked? Do you like being tied up? And then they actually embrace anything that you're intimate. So like, let's say that you actually tell yourself you're dealing with a Scorpio man and you're like, oh my God, I've heard Scorpio men are very sexual and I'm very conservative. Does that mean that we wouldn't get along? Absolutely not. Scorpio men just love to please women, love to please men. They just love to please their partners. So in this particular card, you're dealing with a Scorpio man who's very interested in knowing what is it that you like and how can he make you happy? How can he soothe your worries? The Knight of Wands is another card that talks about how he communicates. Now, when it comes to dealing with a Scorpio man, Scorpio men will never tell you, if you walk out that door, you better never come back. If you walk out that door, I'm gonna tie you up. If you better not do this. Scorpio men will never ever threaten you, will never ever force you, will never ever make you feel that you have to stay with them. Why? A little bit of narcissism, but also their communication skills and their way that they make their partner feel very safe is not through threats, it's not through fear, it's through excitement, it's through future plans. They're the type of zodiac sign that they love to talk about, oh, when you come back, we're going to do this. We're taking a trip. I'm gonna suck on your toes. I'm gonna kiss you until you orgasm. We're gonna go ahead and buy a house. We're gonna go ahead and travel. We're gonna go ahead and shop. We're gonna go ahead and meet family. Like, they are the type of people that once they get to know you and that sexual intimacy relationship has already been established between you two, then definitely they start to make plans. But remember, when you're dealing with a Scorpio man, because they tend to be so selfish sometimes, and what do I mean by that? Selfishness in the sense that they need to feel that you're validating them, that you're desiring them, that Scorpio men love to feel like a Captain Save-A-Ho. They love to feel like Superman, like, oh my God, I didn't know what my life was before I met you. They have this complexity that they need to be the one and only who came to save you, who came to make your life perfect. They came to rescue you. They came to feel like they want you to make them feel like no one else has ever stood next to them as in competition. If you start to make Scorpio men feel like there are other possible potential better options for you, Scorpio men are jealous, but they won't put up that fight. They'll walk away from you. And that's the messed up thing about dealing with the Scorpio. So there has to be a balance, because when you're dealing with the Scorpio, it's so easy for you to lose yourself because you want to be indulged and you want to be devoured by this Scorpio man. But again, you have to remember that you need to be grounded and stable and be able to say no to the Scorpio, because he will try to make you feel like, oh, you want to go hang out with your friends instead of me? You don't want to hang out with me, or you don't want to spend time with me. You don't want to make love right now. It's more like they're manipulative with your time, and you have to make sure that you're balancing your time, your emotions, and your love with this Scorpio, because it's so easy to get overindulged and just over excited, because it's like they are so quick to excite all your senses, mentally, emotionally, physically. They just love taking over people's, their partner's schedule, their body, their mental. It's just that they love devouring you. So if you are dealing with a Scorpio man, please know that there should always be a balance between your love life with him versus your own personal life outside of the Scorpio man. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. If you did like this video, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe. Again, I do have a free competition for a free personal reading with me. This has been Persephone for the Hermit channel, and this was the video dating a Scorpio man. Have a beautiful and blessed week.